This is the Dublin team that will start this final and bid for history in their fourth league title in a row. Diarmuid Connolly returns to the first 15 with Dean Rock, the man he replaced, now back on the team. That's a late change with Paddy Andrews unable to play due to a back injury. Kerry looked quite strong with all-star goalkeeper Brendan Keeley returning to the team, as does captain Brian Sheehan, who will operate in the half-forward line. Mark O'Shea celebrates his 36th birthday today as he joins Mark Griffin and Shane Enright in the full back line. By the birthday boy, 36-year-old Mark O'Shea. David Moore. John Fitzgerald. Slipping one through for his Donegal Walsh. Keane O'Sullivan getting the chip back from Bernard Brogan. Diarmuid Connolly flicking it. Chance here for Dean Rock. Top scorer for the Dubs, with a goal and 35 points in the league, and he scores the opening point in this Fitzgerald. Brian Sheehan. There's Donegal Walsh. Nicely chinked by Stephen O'Brien. He's going for the equaliser. He hits it beautifully.
Stóilm gur thug sé feinneara an méid a hála níos túisce. Sé fós sin té is siar chun tosa gan isise Kilkenny. An dáutasa Eric Getóg agus cumann na maithasa Eric Johnson ille céir ach áitfeinte.
Scoring an sin agus is géir beidir aniu nach bhfuil Eric Johnson an fannach siar mar scoúpú an tána fad má tá spás an tá na cosa aigen agus nar a bhrisí amach rinne an cinniú ceart an sin é a thuirt na chéan Kilkenny imreoir dá chosach agus crunne éintach an sin.
Búirte is a gúnta aige. Dála an irseo gan neuthábhíon is tuchatá cúpar níos. Geabhla bheith takean as céad fáin céad an trábhartú glúnsan agus an levéala siirde riamhige abhaintach a ríiste se chun O'Brien agus an chludanna chuagáige ach tá sé Brian Hain agus fósa ganacht agus caiisiíoch idir Eddie Kingston agus duine Dennis Bastico of Leclia agus cóléise tá stáil ón mertsinach idir an dálín Lorna Parker tá Paul Flynn a bhólisteach Bernard Brogan leistigh agus leistíir de bhac O'Shea O'Shea dí a ggéithnáid i Getóg agus an taxi díanta. Basta calculórach nadidir a bheitting an rud cinna rá méall Stephen O'Brien sa hís fún ach ar a déobh hail an barc se chun Paul Murphy Ceisná a bhana sé san únsa den bréibh anna feisteach agus brúte go háling get Diarmuid O'Sullivan scaid dúig láireach tacht O'Brien ba sin na hasa bharéiste agus tá peinte aimte an son aige Friúltaí anna happy go son.
Anna happy ar fad agus tagad an scoihann sin ó Mark O'Shea ar Bernard Brogan bheith sé fada cinneal gob agus faoimhrú ach a ríist eile.
Finn Fitzgerald tacht. Blackley agus tá cúige díaganis ina le féinach se chun Crowley an chludanna chuagáige bné James McCarthy níos bhfuil an aon luúga aige Peter Crowley fear ama hena leanna scór an a bhrá.
Mar tíntach an sin ó Kerry a cruithníle scór ítach a ríist ó Crowley ach an bhrú agus is léirgóil an tocras le mothú agus le feiceáil go láidir a géirí aniu. Sinam sa híon ggóil an bua níos táhachtaí do chéirí aniu na atha clia. Cluthir bí caiilte ag bhla clia ón ciad lád bhíon mhárta a nuirí ar bhíon agus is rud ionta táhacht aige ó thaobh na sicólaíochta de go gcuireann Kerry Mark de cinna léig an síos níu.
Se cluthir is fethe sa chéile. Agus tá sé buig an tratha bucht na gahra bliana sa chéile gan dát agus is ní le áras féin spéireach go an gur bhó nó gur mó ochras Kerry. David Byrne de chóirú ar stócha. Kilkenny agus Bastic fácar ina éanair. Donahí tacha ginis. John Small agus a bhuineann pell as a chéile nuair thugann siad aige a chéile. An oscailte go dtí seo. Is ceann deapar go maith ag ar racan sá ach an méid sin ráite chu a hálainn i dtí na Crú Líge.
agus crunne ítach agus sin cé go táhachtach sa tá Dean Rock da Clea for Lahar Bogralov ag Brahar Bernard Brogan ach instant strike and Mina a Nil scored check Brogan ach Ian three French ag Paul Flynn 3 Cahar ag Dermot say Dean Rock pre-scoring a Bliana Shaw
Check and out the Imrin Lehedi Brogan McClahir Fad and out a Chodugach Pescala Johnny agus Bornus Nime Pedasti Kele Nishachon Cooper McMahon agus and Dove Kurna Gallagher Yasta Shasha Kriechno and Yasso Pre-Deton Gietsko
Rosa Fad and Gulchin Chen agus Ainta Bay Aga like a thief chart and Fat Matasha Double the Era Kinned Emil the Carloga and Chen had job the Janu like Film Mahan of Sula Kinned there agus leis an taste of skill and she better go back in the race they star feeling her Fad
Johnny Cooper Stachel Arsley agus Anna Hutzbosch Kieran Kilkenny John Small and Ish Warren the Park of Suez Dean Rockings hidden in Kurahorge Cooper Nish and the Gashu Peter Hogan agus Sinead Trio Peter is Sandra Pinasa to get Cooper
agus Fragger Intak and Shin Oaha clear when she had kick a mark agus who she did Leon 3 and the end score Intak Shin agus Nira Garan Cooper Jack Keg which had Kahir and 3 has been hard of a corner Fad scoring that
is Cooper around the flag Cooper Kerry and so agus When he into the head charge is laid which along the bar of the Benin. Agus critics son number do McMahon Savadis. Now they should be the hot topic Nishach Kinkeen. Stephen O'Brien. Gucharist. Stach Saspas agus Platoon against Stephen O'Brien. Paul Murphy. Kieran Kilkenny came out the stick and mentioned gent to get. Bert Kurachorge shoot, put the stuff in the Yasoid, that was Harris across now, he played him in La Hecket Fence Bay to hook the song.
Yeah, Kenny Durago, some of her larger like Kenny Lewis or Clay, I guess the job the Johnny at Fun for Gerald Mar, a couple of cooling fight jag, I guess Corsi, Kermawine Ella, allow Brendan Keeley and Shin. Tasha
Donnacha Walsh. Put the stuff in Lars League, Paul Murphy, Nishta, Stephen O'Brien, in a Dave Howlach, Tasha Outpahe, in a Dave Saw, Cooper. Tussiger McMahon agus Sean Dermot Sullivan Tá Lewis a Gavarsa right a goal again Dermot Sullivan Irish across down Cooper a Crow Fibra
Dan Barter be agus é Kennedy Stee ar Emily Carnoga agus Pas Intak agus Jack Mar Agamich Reach agus é Tetcham be Galore Yard in San Lawa on the Pas across Jack Garton she didn't go to Julius Jaffer and Pool across your Haran Trasne agus Scorintach Ella Reach the Hiri
Shamashin Shahun Crowley Farata Chesh Printer Chloru Hannah Hennig Franona Dermot Sullivan is stig Johnny Cooper of Nach Glanda Gafoil Stephen O'Brien and Taze Congreve and Gould well, Callowich Kingston well, Cassandra Chafter Staff Stolen agus Sinead Fragra and Lucht and Erig
Dierach agus
Dierach Goed verder is Lachiad on goal. Nog een serie gestig. Agus wat eigen practica. Shein executor Clay. Agus voorin. Dean Rock stachen zag gevat met Bastik. Bernard Brogan attack agus Tesha en Huskert het son. Or Varko Shea en I know in Tihin. Barkley Hay het son. Let's go get Brogan.
Ja, Copper Intak and Shin Larn Park, Brisha the Marcus and Lucian, August Kenny Intak Kill and Shin Obastik, Bisha Erla Kito, August Donny Corabura, or Akamitri, Sar, Copper and Shin or Paul Fled, Crinish issues their task live a bonus up Galore, Elawa Bernard Brogan, August Renshi and Kajala.
Kikamach Kerry, Putin Trussa, they get Fid in the Heart Chaharach, Fenton agus Bordenish, agus Tom Borden Baffa, Nukurachorge Fenton and Burn Coravaris, Feinte, de Mahnin Felive, Speed to Brugge, Shahud Connolly, Rafilaxa Tam Magir Gadisha, Brogan attack, Baffa, Cleaner Varko Shea, but Santana scored against Brogan. And a good man of Connolly, we've been asked, Tussard and Torta, a Cooklo, both the Shelive, exam show should score.
August and Matson Sula Race, August past Kigas Jack Katie Shinera, August Jersey Martin Shea on air, Risher, Yul, a Capo Intax there. Imror da Hossack a Hossishe reach the Sar, the Oberna
Cancer. And more Dierich again, shoot the Shachon O'Brien, because Anna Count Gaff again. Nish Fleep, quick talk again. Donnacha Walsh, Sprint to Mach Mata, and the Bechat Macorin and Sarroda. Nach the Ledig O'Brien Krobach, Agus Nachton, some stiff.
Craig Intach and sin ó bháil a caiid á mar agam mar a rí sár capú an sin agus éhfuí bhrú beirú trúr agus bhí sé cliste go leor an pass a thuirt díreach ag an second ceart agus Craig Intach scór anhhaid.
Well, fair a bheallan áidreatóirí gcónaíocht Paul Mannion agus tá sé siúd treis áid chosantóirí bheallanú beise a bhealla bescónach an tóirsan.
Agus Alberíntaach an sin ag maine mar bhí gramú chutha Jack ag Donnaí ar an líomhhaid go sé bristir hiúil mar agam muid a rís dé beidir go chuir sé stop leis an rithir ó Johnny Cooper ach a rís agus éhfuí bhrú tá an gramú chapas Jack ó Donnaí brisin an líomhhaid ar hiúil a tá sé láidir go leor agus tá an luas aige an éh feicú suas agus Craig Intach.
Leis a gíc nach námartha de Cluxton leis brogan a rís leistigh de bhar go sé ach daint sé cúlan sástan ina féinte sin trí cín isige.
Ja, 3 cín agus tá Marco sé ag strachas in ach an cyflins Lárna Park tá sé Lárna go nach an rud a Harlan Sean Martin má tá sé buint sé Kerry ach seo kick siar a masra isca agus táhacht a caiide sin rá tá aglia a bhád chun tosí le cúb an nuas ar Kerry seo kick Harvey táhacht a Colin Cooper.
Cúpla trí glite gach ní sé fada go leor. Cúpla nach nachan sanastig tóca ar a chaitholacht a gach. Cian O'Sullivan. Gonna sé díomhálach Kilkenny if nach leis. Donnaí chuiristeach a míle chúlagus in chléipscón capisteach nach maithin sa bhlachar an son. Bert go bhfuil go leor le rá gcónaí chu.
Ja, agus siúm sa híon beidir go méid Donnaí chuiristeach an sin don darna lá fástan mar in é riire tá sé Jackar líomhhaid cé a chuiristeach Hig an Booch nó Hig Stephen O'Brien caiistú cinna ar an talú agus dar an Sullivan gach go hairthe ach le Donnaí an Stephen sin tá ré acu le pás cé chuiristeach agus cruthaíonn sé febanna agus sa cá seo gohí sé kick siar masara éasca de Brian Sheehan.
Tá bhí an chumar éad na maithne go méidir go sé goteach tá sé ceart leor a ríist leanúint Paul Flynn. Se chun Sheehan inis. Go baile is mó ceann díobh chur a hair sé trasnáin aige. Sin dámhar a chéile Peter Crowley a bucht na pelle.
Láidir Intach an sin ó Crowley agus ó maihan ar an tíbhead an farc tá seo táhaach an is 3 second le goal an bhfuil Kerry abal a beidir scór bhain eile aimsú le Donnaí ar imime le ceart nó go beidir ceann eile chuiristeach mar cé gur thug sé sin sa grim do Sullivan sa cá sin tá sé cruthaí febanna go fáil.
Se chuin Brian Sheehan. Paul Mannion dúirt go fell bhaintó agus é dianta ar a tarna bátaige. Nis bhuiilteach an cían sa Gurán Kilkenny a fnach glastíir den Béilir dúiseach san son tacht le bús. A ceartaí an adamach a drón clíháin agus well da ása brogan ní bhuathe sé an count son agus well níte te sé aana bhar dúil sanach tá buile saithre. An bíl Connolly bucha amach san líne le thosaigh den tarna leis seo an chiad scór aimsethe ó san ina chaitholacht ag Eddie Connolly.
Túsíntaach an sin agus an caiisteach builte agus idir an onsaí agus Connolly beidir bucha amach go dtí an lína daithe sleat ach níor gáir sí isteach ar an cos sin bhí sé bhád ro happy an sin san cá sin do Peter Crowley agus scóirínta.
De buí tanóna aige. Snéhí dul chun tosaigh an son agus well, aber chuis céim leataíomh nar a bhéon chuinige séna nóid leiseach ní agan son agur chuir sé a láimh amach péascéal é ach dín racanis ceann brógamá ag O'Sullivan. Peter Crowley gemeachtar chum a trénach Lárna Park a suas agus tá painted ar a thuige Crowley agus sinnéan tarna ceann go bhistam a gasisiú tranóna.
Táhachtach gan am seo bhíon mar coppla culín fáite ag gach clia as a chéile ag túsing dar lehan seo agus níos beidir.
Digach sé Cillian Young a ghain na pass tacht trastan san a Diarmaid Connolly. Se chun Donnaí wercan na Crowley ige ceann áard seoltaisteach áda Diarmaid Crowley ag an bhathach ó Hurley.
Cynnis den Scoian sin Donnaí ach a rís eile hanach sé ón onadaí Cillian Young ag chataisteach agus beidir go gurthaí sé coppla cuatha céiste.
David Moore na Deireadh Feola Bheala beidir. Steach a Lárslí Darren O'Sullivan. Dulta imíonn na deasóige agus canathe má déanach Pointe an bhrá.
Rud is anna Intach de grad chuntain tíir an ceapal beidir go raibh an spás geartha an síosan sin a gatha clí ach a leithir de Craig agus an níos Kerry in san chluthe Tá slú ardaithe an seo creidinn siad an níos beidir go bhfuil seans níos spár acu agus in a rira to be smacked a Kerry or Kerry le Craig Munch and Lewis.
Three cyn de feint die as a Chélacha. Cooper and Ish in a Vila D had a direct tacht. Tyve a Chool de Chian O'Sullivan. Sugary David Byrne. Fannucht trust aan de park of Fenton. Butch dacht niet hier geshoot. Kilkenny attacked. Killeen Young. Dus je dacht Killeen Young en Dulce Kini en we kunnen een eerste mark wat je in de Clareus of Fad August kicks here Melton again.
Well, Peter Ravi and Gorusi Nish Congri da Actiric in second card lesson less Kim Shin. Piece of skill than Skyner a Garcia Jack Nero Ian Ray Wine Young Honea Haran Shear Crohin say Jess Masker Iska and Shaw the free of Scorley Clea Dean Rock August the Gra Marac and the one store and Shaw Kinds like Kevin McManaman Bidget of Acamage McManaman chat to Shock Miles the Clea Shaw Chance Master Iska the Rock.
Sure, and kicking the third gate to get Kerry. Boos Mota again McManaman went out and Lewis that was Emerton saw. I still Kate van Gate Kinte Keta on at the day. We have Paul Manning town nach gehoord hè. Agus Corte Derek Brown to Ered no Mahni Nader Ben Montour no beter fucking the Lewis. Who gave him Kinnishinian
Jacker Ra Rain Bay Orange Pitcher Shin Akal a race action Kunny Ufasok and Shin the Kerry. There's on Jaga Jiraka Harla of which is Shinka and Talagus Balierga Harla Rodegan August in a real
Brian Kieran Donaghy gus Ian O'Sullivan and Son and Croy can start that shoot. Good to Keen Khafad Le Rock. Love Aubrey Doug me Lachfer and Sunday. Fossaka. Big Vienna start on goal to Tom McCauley. Paul Flynn agus Philippe de Hula ag Griffin show agus
yeah, it's being clear kind of Bristol Suez agus me Clactor and Shin like a Darren Kais Kerry bit of soccer sheets agus cooling Kielwork simply a Currahar and Trass and Harry here Isle or Asa Clare.
Rohama ag Brendan O'Sullivan Khankina McCarthy Aichimad Las Mocha Paul Murphy Nish Derek Barna Vintamach Ferry Shul Talavi on Barna Vintamach agus Tom Pintelesh back to get Paul Murphy.
Yeah, score Jack simply a Kerry just go bonus off toss Intach as Jack agus Renchi at a Kenny card like an arm card as far Harvey Crane Paul Murphy.
Amon Roherta O'Sullivan Lesh agus Cooper Onu Trinish Dienta Gashud Cooper Dienta Donny Vintamach Machin Dienta Chalta Quirte Brahar Heinig to take Garrett Deering. Mold Mahagari van Dallas nee Johnny Cooper. Van Nani Feltig en Son. En Neger. David Byrne. Justin Socha Fadle Paul Flynn. See, no more dear Gledol the Count Scribe and so Black Lady Gasha Buchten and Gahru Blaine as a Hele agus well and Count Diego Fada Butchigan making Diego Butchiga Kerry of the Leon. Zachary McManaman. Mark Griffin in a Chinamach. Rohamah de Cooper. Agus Tá Barna Buntamach again. Desher Khounin, Sheeran Sagadi, Kieran Kilkenny. McManaman, Council Trapper, Hall in their father de Cook, the Stephenson. Prita Anna Hawker.
Anna Hawker, a father Shin and Rod Jiraka, Jan and Kevin McMahon, there are Henches Jack. Jan and Shade, Emery and Shade, Tronaher, Aaron Clare, Lightrock August. We say Ensign Glusak Shin Free.
And Kennedy Dean Rock. After her mash again, Agus Kegwilche. Agus Illigir Gamah again, Cooler Bolton son, Paul Mannion. Nish, Tarigir Talona, Demarco will kick in, Brown to get Eddie Kingston, and Sean Corkinona, Sistigan.
Or on Kid Rock. Tamé ginter leis an réitir, but bhrála mo stá acail a rééis ach nuair a hetsin sé síos tá sé léite go hanahhair fad ag maniam sílan agus é gar stacha ar an fúil mar acha muid a rééis dé tá líomhid buinte aige bhfuil chuir sé a láha hart ar agus ní féidir leis níróin líomhid go fáil in a láha aige go fáil
sin a bhí gceist
hetsin líomhid ar hiúla bhí ach Tian Shin and ní féidir leis sin anú go háirithe san boxa so mas trick serious jahe tíh muid an boxa cehi tú an cinú Jack ar Janu Bidger agus rinne Eddie
féidir sé Could have vanished across now, and Sean's got fish in the guest game, Mark Mather.
She'll see him better go would go home.
Dubh líne. Ceann fíorthachta inis. Úrtaisteach ag a gap daon agus idir na cúlaí ráfhaointe de bhearn inis an.
Scoreintach an sin aonanta táteach agus le Brian John Keane the seachcuil Jake Feite ag Keane an líana go dtí seo agus beidir go chuirséantas an naróisi stí sa chluthir ribh seo ach le beidir ach momente le gáil beidir go mééis abal a déis cruúil a chrothú nó.
Dana idir an fel sin a bhórtach Michael Darragh McCauley inis. Gháilchan Keane it saoir leis. Brogan. Agus Victor Byrne agus tá Marco sé chuir a gáiríist go déanana printing go nó. Déanana citóig.
Emmert ionach an sin ó Brogan just ar a gáir sé isteach ní rún na cosa ag ó sé dá agus cé gur ó sé faoi bhrú ar a chosas is leidir is dóithe.
Danny idir an nárdach. Well, deis fósacha. Agus Danny agus an maidhí sáte go dar Lady Kinsland san idir chéile córic. Machcalar Parkis Ciarán Kilkenny. Le mé teachchút a bharcan is sa a bhad mad le moltaí de leich na himmarthe. Siagarí Fenton. Lapamór Grieg. Ní leanach an lábháin ar a Belige. Nach Gréimon Urváite ar a gaid chéana. Seachún smáin an is agus gan aine a techt a chuiristeach ná machar. Neata sé a dúra sé féinú ná déananig. Machan sa. Sné Castlo Sláilin agus tosaí frahanta a seaithe seo a higann go maith peil na cúlaí agus sin chéad cíine is de bhearna.
Far Harvey crinnan ar fad cúil agus íon chuí ó Jess eile!
Fra kick go maith é seachan é chéad úmar chóra agus an cúlaid sé ag a Paul Flynn ach an fadún an kick go maith.
Droch wat in de masma ach letse go hanaway ar fad ag Flynn. Is it fanter and kick a mark at shot Leisha Egos near a Garcia Jack Rinshade Road card Hockray he and she's agus Kenya Shake Master Aishal agus Sin Jerry the last Kerry and New York.
Well, I should have Kelly or snuck a shade here. Enough agus ar fud na carach sa Donnelly Wilkinson again John Small Cameron Albert Small agus David Byrne Bedrin Vertus Olga agus is Lou Tahi I should tell you Kamamar.
Tá gan in ar be agus a rééis an glún eile chat féidir ó áha clia. Is it Harv a láidir fe faoíon ar an bailh.
Ceann go bhaid mar tapilm.
It cai mé rago go raibh sartlathe Johnny Cooper agus McCarthy mar chosantóirí bhí anna tunnach ar fád Kenny agus brogad bhála clia. The Kerry bit a counter Cooper Lewis a clia agus O'Brien Foster agus Beidir Crowley ach secha sin ar imar mór nacu go maianniu.
Well, it's more idrisha agus lán ceann mí man for na bhí díle bháistí an nach an tora chéanna é óróise a dhégar chúsaí. Agus gan dat bra sásta buile eile sico lícha bheith builtecha ar chiaí. Fitzsimons and sa. Siúl captain sa ar a Dave Hogan Bark for David Byrne. Fitzsimons a reached, os cóir a chúl. Paul Flynn in fear of food and cool in our area. It creates mar chóir go segus McMenamin. Omega Mark the Hogan agus é sin seolt go Harrison Trastáin.
Dírak agus an far cína snatch card. McManaman tasach Jim Gavin go dé aimte ar a hagann sé staach le Emery sé trunner leigrach agus sin an darna chuil fáite go dtí seo ag in é riara má heimidir ráis beidir fé bomber a bring go dtí an Kenny nach sin beidir a rin Eddie Kins le níachamaid go fáil é a réist ach an Kenny le card a Jarrah go runner ar éan ó mahanna ní mé rá
McMenaman William Young Dírak é stopped. Kenny a fethev. Seo Castler forward pass. Inis fight get Kilkenny. See nu met gulle de skewer shawl en na de nog takecht agus imlodi Kerry en sa. Kilkenny is James McCarthy. Mark and Dorit gwil de broge Morris van Rory Carroll agus Jack McCarthy liente a heftig. Jim Gavin.
Tá sé ró le a rá bhíon sílam hé go méid scrúdaithe a bhád níos Jackar teacht a rican Terry Beidir a mílíonna.
Dragoni or Jack McCaffrey Griffey Rouser Moon Seach and Hinton Lady Cooper Philly McMahon Few David Burns Eternal Adulchan Keen David Naffin and Kine Alish and the Nimmert her father Run Concentration Corner Bowl Agus Bernard Brogan is Stachan Sasha Dish Dinner Hole Agus on last off and Leon and Son Eric Downs and Lee Mullet for a Spartus.
Yeah, I was Jerry Glower the Naroga and Attack the Shot. I got Pisa Albert and Sky and Shen O'Brien Brogan. Wiltshire and Curry, I was no Hitchy Sheets, because you logical or Neo Winch. Toss into Christia Stachiga, I was Cliff into O'Lowns, I was Brendan Kelly, a Gary O'Marker, a Gideon Squaz, a Lady and Shit. I got letters to Craig, Hershey Stack, the Hard Days in Salenga, I was reached Ella, Craig, Brenda Jock, the Jim Gavin, I guess Aaron.
Kenny Gady Nord and Sonacha Bishop fight to get Mark O'Shea Russian Moran the Jennifer get Kerry Natasha Khanver National Son me man for Sakhun agus Illusion Focal Foster Husney's Tushkin son Brian Sheehan agus Paul Flynn agus Vertigo Force Pierre Ken is taken Sogus clock for the top to Mach Let's have all the night of the Jennifer Son on to get shoot
Ristella Pascal is Jack couldn't get more of Ask the Taki after and Mahasa Mark and Jim Tanakosa Bidger Tursha Trick the Nish I guess Balaklia just I was in Tomic Slime she's I guess a Mark and Shaw Vein I got Sasta and later I guess in Shell of a Cunyald I guess in Clug or Rishis
Richard Fersa Fenton Anna Ekal her father Fat Son Hone agus Pegwell Michael Dar McCauley Eddie Bark so in the Misha Dakar shoot Inge den vertical Milan Noorde after the art of what her Nash or Vinnica Son Shahunia Mark O'Shea in the Eigemach she and so rich for Fadle Lowndes because the Monag will demolish and skew Shaw and is such a second the dull practically a Kriechna Anna Lodge father because no the hand in the cool or in the deal of Father Kerry Tashit a Brahar Chahar Diag the Tamalanish agus Bernd Shinamort Fark Ashing Shaw on Grokig Fiona Sullivan a few Gaffach and Keen agus a Meshel Arage Scoral She Nivek
there's more in Fruga in Eris B at Balaklia at Barna Ulward in Fernia Fapper
the players are far good to reach and like Jim Gavin agus again back here agus to see it for the Strad and Garu Glina Sakela Ta Flynn agus she and Foss a play Kursi and Sonamo Lorna Park and Marakinchev agus Klippehocht le Brahanson and Lednik Hiri the Shentruga Masha Kirchneche the Laklia the Berna Iad Sikele Tanona the Bitnach Becken got to Derek the Shamash to win the Mach Dere here Howl ach no the Yin Shin in the Hemorrhoid call in the park agus attack the Meacha on the score the Kinucha a game shoe agus
Lech Neverha the TG Cahar Alliance and Shotron and Yov Ibra Doya Gla Clea Kieran Kilkenny Kieran Cohordachas Níháin go bhfuil an trachamórtas búirte goibh tá sé búirte goibh don ceathrú bliain as a chéile cécho speisialtas atá láise.
Yeah, tá míntach sás leis an taspáintas agus is mar priviléide imir ar sunbaileach lé achathir ar lácha speisialta leis seo agus fithe bras go le bhí sé don lucht féchna agus tá lánsáasta le sin agus tá me gimmert ar son an club an seachtain se cún náid na bloncaid so tá me tinú mór le sin agus I tinú le sosbeag freisin.
Seo fethe dul cluthe sra agus craobh as a chéile búirte goibh Kieran. Cad é an rún?
Ní le hinú gist just tógmid gach léthe agus níos táid tinú leis an cléine idir lís ná Cilbhaint Park ná an sás leis an taspáintas agus bheith clóra beagání an gin.
Gurbín agad Kieran.
Kerry, 13 points. Dublin proving that they are still the best team in the land. Alliance League champions 4 years in a row.
It's a great testament to the players, Marty. You know they've really applied themselves over the last number of seasons. But you know we are taking it one game at a time, and today was a big game for us against a big team like Kerry, and you know, we're just happy to get the result today.
We came up to win the game and we came up short again. So look, we just have to take it in the chin. We have to go in, we have to try and improve again for the championship. We're playing championship 7 weeks today and we'll have to improve. But At the same time, we got a lot out of this league, more so than we have in recent leagues, and we have to look at the positives, but there definitely still is a gap there to close.
We're absolutely delighted. It was nip and tuck there for large parts of the second half, and then delighted to pull away towards the end, and I think we showed some good composure. So we're all very happy in the dressing room to win another league title.
Well, they are 4 league finals, 4 league trophies. So I suppose the current Dublin National Hall continues to grow. I guess, Kieran Whelan, the significant thing about that particular game today was it wasn't just the fact that Dublin beat Kerry, but a clear gap between the two sides. What does that tell us about the state of play?
Well, it's probably tells you where Dublin are in terms of their dominance. It's their 4th Alliance League title in a row, as we know. But they must be relentless to play against, Michael. They must be very, very difficult. They put Kerry to the sword, probably with relative ease today. I know the sending off was significant, but I think they were beginning to dominate at that period of the game anyway. Jim Gavin will look back, he'd be very happy. Defensively, very, very solid. Kick-out's good. Brian Fenton really put it up in the middle of the park and gave them a platform. And then up front, he'd be a little disappointed that they turned over a lot of possessions. But Bernard came good, kicked 4 great scores. And they could have been better probably in around the half-hour line. Kilkenny was excellent. But there's actually room for improvement. And I think that's the real scary thing from a Kerry perspective.
Sure is. But the Kerry manager said, Jarlath, in the interview there, that they took a lot of positives out of the league. So it's a building block. I mean, a defeat's a defeat. But still, you have to look, I suppose, at the overall campaign.
Yeah, you do. Dublin are unbeaten now in 2 years, 2 All-Ireland titles, as we know. As beating a team by 9 points, you expect Dublin to do that to the other teams in Leinster. We're used to that.
That's the point, yeah.
Playing a final against Kerry in Croke Park in front of 70,000, it's almost scary when you see them doing it to Kerry. Kerry don't get beaten by that amount. Yeah. The only thing I would say, Dublin have also, all of those under 21 players have come through now. Eric Lowndes, Dean Rock, Kieran Kilkenny is now really a leader himself, will be captain soon, I would say. But I think all of this comes with a word of caution. These two teams play each other. If all goes according to plan on the 20th of August in an All-Ireland semi-final, who would bet against that? What happened today, Michael, will bear no relation whatsoever to that meeting.
No, we take that point, and that is very accurate. Let's look at aspects of the game, Kieran, as it unfolded today. And one thing that I think struck us was the way Kerry set up, because they looked very defensive at times today.
They were, and this has been evolving over a period of time, Michael, and I think that comes with fear of playing Dublin, because if you play Dublin and you go man-to-man your defence, Dublin love that. And they'll open you up. But Dublin also relish this now. They're getting used to it. Kerry had 13 men back regularly, 14 men behind the ball, only leaving 2 up in their own half. And particularly, it worked in the first half where they picked off scores for Cooper and Darren O'Sullivan got a couple of good scores. But in the second half, I think they wilted a bit. And they had very few options going forward. You see here, Donaghy, acres of space. You look up, you see Johnny Cooper here is closing down the angle for the one man they have inside forward, and the ball's kicked away. And like Kerry have, as I said, they've always had Donaghy Walsh dropping back, but now Paul Murphy's playing at number 11 and he's dropping back, and they've adapted their game to try and compete with Dublin. They've tried something different, but now they've been given food for thought that hasn't worked. So it's kind of back to the drawing board to a certain degree, and as I said, Dublin relish it. Dublin still opened them up when they had 12, 13 men behind the ball. They still created goal chances, they still went at them hard, so it leaves them with food for thought. And when they did get forward, particularly in that second half, they used the long ball into Kieran Donaghy a lot. They tried to get long ball in. They got no success out of it. You can see there, he's 4 Dublin men around him, drops it short. So they didn't have that offensive threat. So I think it's, that there is that fear in their game. They know how good Dublin are. So it's really, it's food for thought. They have to go back now and see how are we going to approach Dublin. As Jared says, if we meet them in August, what are we going to do different?
I want to take up, Jared, the point that you were mentioning to me earlier on. But I mean, we all know the way the game has gone these days and the pace that's in Gaelic football and that. But do you want to make a point about the speed of thought as well as speed of legs, I suppose?
Yeah, and it's following on from Kieran's point. It's April. We still have 2 or 3 months to go before these players get from good fitness to elite fitness. And speed of thought is part of that. Now, some great examples of defending here, because you cannot afford to dither. And at this time of year, the game plan isn't fully thought out. You're looking up there, Stennis Bastick, excellent defending there by Aidan O'Mahony. He comes away with it. And finally, Brian Sheehan gets the ball, comes away. Now, here's Brian Sheehan himself. Just looks up, slightly unsure, and is dispossessed again, this time by Paul Mannion, who goes away with the ball. Now, here's Dublin. I feel myself that whenever a ball comes off the post, really, it's the defender who should have the advantage there. It's coming back, the defender's facing it. But on both occasions, whenever the ball came off the post, Dublin's speed of thought was just that slight bit at a more advanced stage than Kerry. They got the penalty, and then really, Dean Rock would put that one over the bar. The second one then, whenever it came over the bar, whenever it hit off the post, you would really think that it's definitely a defender's ball here. It comes between Brogan and Mark O'Shea. Mark O'Shea is facing it, and then suddenly he turns and gives it into Eric Lowndes, comes on, puts it into the net. So at this stage, Dublin's speed, their intensity, but also their mind game, their speed of thought is at a more advanced stage than everybody else.
Sure. When I watch these games, Kieran, I suppose I'm looking at it more from a traditional viewpoint, if you like. Now, that's fair enough, because I am older than the two of you. But this is also important, though, for me, you know, how you deal with one-on-one situations, as well as the tactics and all the other aspects that come into Gaelic football.
Listen, when Donegal beat Dublin, it was questions about their defence, but I thought their defence today was immense. Davy Byrne here winning one-on-one battles. He's had a very, very good league campaign, the young lad from Olives. You know, here we have then, you know, Johnny Cooper gets out on front. And you're in a position where Dublin have Dennis Bastick and Keane O'Sullivan playing defensive roles, but you also have to win your one-on-one battles. And I think what's significant is, you know, this was a first real probably test for Dublin. Jack McCaffrey's gone, Rory O'Carroll's gone. So when you've got a defensive structure in place and you can trust your guys in one-on-one situations to beat some of the top quality forwards in the country, it leaves Dublin in a good place. And I think Jim Gavin will be very, very happy with, certainly with the emergence of young Davy Byrne at cornerback, and like the likes of Johnny Cooper, Keane O'Sullivan, James McCarthy, all top quality defenders.
Oh, no doubt. We had a sending off in this match, gentlemen, which I want to discuss, but I'm not too sure if we can add an awful lot of this, because the pictures really, I suppose, don't support it. But
yeah, listen, Michael, it's difficult. It wasn't picked up by camera. You know, there's definitely a clash here between Aidan O'Mahony and Johnny Cooper. It's inconclusive from our perspective. What's certain is Eddie Kinsella saw it himself. He was nearby. He was very decisive in his decision. Aidan O'Mahony's reaction, you know, we've all been there in my own career. It looked like he was frustrated and he'd done something stupid, and if he has done that, he's going to be suspended. But it's inconclusive pictures.
51st minute, 13-11, 2 points in it. You just cannot afford against Dublin. You cannot afford to lose a man at that stage, because they'll just run through you. That was, if there was a turning point, I mean, you might have said they were going to win it anyway, but there certainly wasn't going to be 9 points in it. Aidan O'Mahony sending off as a real turning point in that match.
I was talking earlier on about tactics and the way teams set up and all that sort of thing. There was, you know, one thing that we're so used to is Stephen Cluxton's kickouts. In actual fact, Kerry kind of backed off him a little bit through points of the game. But Jarlath, there is a high risk to some of the kickouts in games these days. Of course, if you're playing this short ball.
And of course, I'm going to advocate the long kick out in the middle of the field. Where did we see this
so the man beside you,
Where did we see this before? A short kick out coming a cropper, you know, All-Ireland final a couple of years ago, Donegal, Paul Durkin, and there it is, Brendan Keeley. And that also comes back to the speed of thought thing. You have to be, you know, or war the cleha, as they say in Irish, at all times you have to be on top of your game, especially for a short kick out. You have to know exactly.
You favour Brendan Keeley because the defender waited on the ball. He didn't come towards it. You know, it probably looked like the kick was on, and Paul Flynn just pounced. But it is a risk strategy, particularly around that scoring zone. If you pop a short one into that area, you're always under pressure.
All right, thanks for all of that. We have a short break coming up here on Alliance League Sunday. Now, when we come back, it's today's Division 2 Football League final between those Ulster rivals, Cavan and Tyrone. We'll see you again shortly.